Run, don't walk. Cosmic Crucible Season 8 is starting. Time recording this video, 3 hours and 21 minutes. Probably by the time you're watching this video, it has already started. So go change your defenses around. So this is going to be a fun season. I am going to be going more offensively minded initially and then build my defense as we get to understand what the counters are, because there's a lot of unknown variables, specifically with mercs for money. And also, we don't have the fully powered Old Man Logans yet. You know, at best, people are running a 2 red, 5 yellow. Room 1 is going to be on turn, clear vulnerable from self, and heals 20% of max health for each vulnerable effect removed this way. Characters with vulnerable gain 25% resistance. This is kind of one of the nothing burger rooms of Season 8. Room 1 and Room 3 don't really do anything. So, in general, the only thing to be mindful in this room right here is there's a couple characters that do some things with vulnerables, Iron Patriot and Cabal. But yet, if you go early enough, it's not going to matter. But this kind of was perceived initially prior to the tournament last week as being the anti-Cabal team room. But it still worked in here. I've got footage of my Super Scroll Mercs for Money in Room 1 getting walked over by Cabal, Emma, Apocalypse. We've talked about this at length. So this is a nothing burger room. I thought about putting Spider Society here, but you can put anything you want that is leftover and chunky. Whatever is going to be an efficiency killer for you. That could be Infinity Watch. It could be Darkhold. But for me, I'm just going to put Out of Time. And then we've got Agent Venom here, which is a rebirth, which has slight synergy with Captain Carter and Captain America. Room 2, this is the bleed room. On defense and offense, all characters on turn gain bleed. With bleed, gain 5% damage per bleed. When applying bleed, gain defense up. So, I think there's a couple ways to approach this room and 3 teams that I think are going to be interesting. 2 on defense, 1 on offense. On defense, I think it's going to come down to Secret Defenders with Robbie Reyes and or Mercs for Money. Now, the idea here is Noir. I feel like Noir is a good choice because Noir gets all that extra bonus turn meter and goes very early in the match and applies bleed. And once bleed is on the other side, then Old Man Logan's passive kicks in and makes this team quite a bit faster. They get a speed bonus when the opposing team has bleed. Now, Robbie Reyes is also going to be very useful right there and putting a whole Secret Defenders team, which is very strong anyhow, because Robbie Reyes synergizes well with bleed, and then he gets extra turn meter. Now, a third team, which I don't recommend putting on defense, which proved to be very good on offense for me, would be Undying. And that has to do with Tony Stark, Iron Man, zombie Iron Man's passive where they start attacking each other when they have bleed. I had good success in this room on offense, not on defense. Now, I did have one of my opponents in the tournament put Undying on defense, and Hive Mind ran over it. I think I used Big Time Spider-Man with Hive Mind without Venom, and it just plowed over it. Now, Room 3 is the exposed room, and this is a nothing room. Put whatever you want right here. Unsuccessful hit. If target has exposed, perform a basic attack against that target. Characters with exposed have minus 20% resistance. I think Super Scroll is a non-event here and going to have better luck with Super Scroll in other rooms. Vol, I don't know. I'm not putting Vol on defense. I might use Vol on offense for sure. Could put Nightcrawler here, but here's the truth is, this team right here probably would be better inside of Room 6, which I think is going to be the most interesting, most important room of the entire season. So I'm torn about putting this in Room 6 or in Room 3 and just ignoring the room rolls. So put whatever good team you want there. Room 3, as far as room rolls, is kind of a non-event. Room 4, this is a bit of a tricky room, and initially when I read these rules, I thought Infinity Watch was going to work well there, but it really just wants a slow team here. And this is the Black Knight room, in my opinion. On defense and offense, all characters on turn, clear all negative effects from character, and then at the end of turn, gain defense down, offense down, slow, and disrupted. So having immunity and safeguard would be very useful right here. Immunity to not get the negative effects. There's a lot of teams that do that. Doesn't really work the way I thought it was going to work with Infinity Watch. That proved to be not that great here. But on turn and gain defense down, offense down, slow, and disrupted. Just screams Black Knight. So when the other team goes, and if they go fast, Black Knight counterattacks, and he's going to be putting trauma on him, and that's going to be amazing. And I really like the idea here. A lot of people were talking, including Juicy and Dorky, about how this team right here, just the straight Spider Society with a random character, I don't know what that would be, like Captain Sam or Spider-Woman, or with Noir for that matter, can be easily countered with Lizard New Warriors. Black Knight says, and Black Knight is just very good. And Spider Society in the tournament proved to be insanely good in room 4. And I also was considering in room 4 putting Out of Time with Black Knight. I thought that would be a good idea, but then I became more worried about the easy counter to Spider Society. This definitely takes it up a notch and makes them choose something big. Now, I'll be back, and there's some debate on what's going to be best here on defense and offense. Villain characters on spawn gain revive once at 50% max health. And so I feel like this is going to be some version of Sinister Six. Sinister Six, of course, is much better with Lizard. So this is just a holder here for Rhino. You could put all kinds of things. In the tournament I ran Black Knight, but I think Black Knight is going to be better in 4. Lizard is going to be better than Rhino, or you can use whatever Sinister Six will be better. Now, the other option for this room, and probably what I'm going to be using on offense, is going to be Secret Defenders, and that has to do with Black Cat's passive, basically stealing the revive once and putting on her. It does have a focus resistance check. It can be evaded and dodged, but it does have 1,000% extra focus. I know that I did take Black Cat on offense against Superior 6, Sinister 6, and it didn't strip it away on everybody. In fact, I remember leaving it on Green Goblin, and that just created an absolute mess. So I'm be prepared. There's going to be a lot of Superior 6, Sinister 6 in room 5, kind of like the challenging choice. But also, I think some people are going to be putting Secret Defenders. Room 6, and this is going to be the most interesting room, I think, of the entire season, and I'm really struggling to not put that room right there in room 6. On defense and offense, all characters, after using ultimate ability, spread all positive effects to adjacent allies. Ultimate abilities cost 2 less ability energy. So we've seen this room rule here many times. Ultimate abilities cost 2 less ability energy, but this was spreading all of the ability energy. Seems to be very insanely amazing, especially I think with this team right here. That'll be very good. Dorky Dad used this team here on defense in the tournament, and he did get some people blindsided. Nebula goes early in the match, giving the positive effects, and that does seem like a good solution. It stops a lot of logical characters and counters to this room. You think about all the characters that like to go with the ultimates, which would be Darkhold or Super Scroll. The other team that a lot of people are talking about using here is going to be Hive Mind with Super Scroll, which I'm going to save for offense, but I think that would be amazing in room 6. What are you going to do? So many good choices, but run, don't walk. Go change your defense now. Have fun. Season 8. Let's go.